everybody, I'm back today working on the cd175 and I'm looking at the petrol tank today, so we're going to try and get that done and maybe some of the other little bits if possible for the headlight holders and that sort of thing. And if I get them all ready today, it's ready for the blue paint, so it'll be exciting times after that. So I've already started stripping all of the rust converter off the tank because, well, in my opinion, it's not that good. It does kind of stick into the pits a bit though, which is alright. You can see them marking all the places where I see a surface that's not just straight, and it's going to need to be flattened out a little bit with some filler. A couple of little dents, you know, here. There's going to be a big one there, needs fixing. But so far so good. Obviously there was this massive dent inside of it here, which is not going to be seen because the panel goes over it. I managed to make it fit, so luckily enough it didn't catch the edge of it there and pull it, so it could be alright. A bit of luck. I rebuilt the petcock because I realised it wasn't working. I needed to get the petrol out of it, into that can there. So I used this spare one that I had, which was a new one I bought for my friend's bike, but they're just not as good as the original. So, well, on the advice of Colin there, I took components out of the middle of this, and whatever bad ones was on the old petcock, I replaced them, used all the new seals, so that works. Yeah, so that's as far as I've got, and I'm just going to continue on here and get stuff done. Just in the interests of health and safety, I'd like to point out that this is a petrol tank that you're working on if you are doing a job like this. And using these wire brushes, you got to be extremely careful, because if you hit a rough spot of rust, you can create sparks with that brush. And as you can see, if you look back on some of my videos, petrol don't mess around. You can get injured quite quickly by not thinking. So it's just a reminder to you that if you're using wire brushes on a petrol tank, to be very careful of that, because I got an awful burn in there a while back. It wasn't from actually doing something like this, it was from changing a pump, which I didn't disconnect the battery on the bike for, and yeah, it turned out to be quite a disaster, and quite a bit of recovery too. My hand's alright now, you can see there's no scars or anything, but I was lucky. So it's just a reminder to you that if you're doing something like this, just be careful of sparks. Yeah, so I've been working at this for a while now, straightening up all of the areas that were dented. I think I'm doing a good job here. This area on the front, which was the worst, I have a little bit of filling in to do. You can see some pits, but it's getting there and it's taking shape. This one the same, needs to be just a tiny bit higher, filled in a little bit more. So this was the first run of filler. Usually it takes about 2 runs of filler to get things just bang on, but the first one will tell you exactly how you've shaped it, and yeah, I think it looks good and feels good. It's a tiny little raise there, but it was always in it, so I don't know whether to try fill that again or to leave it alone. On the back here, just covering the rusty pitted spots on the corner there, and that's it. What more can I say? Just sanding away with my 80 grit, bringing it down, always feeling it with your hands. If you can feel a bump in it, and any sort of a thing at all, an edge, if you feel a lip on the edge, it's going to be seen. So you really do have to go to town to try and get this right. And it's not simple. And there's an extra one I noticed earlier. I was running my hand, I could feel a little ding in it. I can't really see it though, but it's in it, I can feel it. So you see, the problem is, you might not see this whenever you put matte kind of paint on, but once you get the shiny surface, the lacquer on top, you will definitely see any nick or bump, you will see it. And you can wet sand some of that out, but it's time consuming, and you do try to avoid having to do that too much. So, which I'm probably going to have to wet sand this anyway, because it's got so much pitting in it. Really, some places are really bad. I'm hoping that the filler primer is going to cover in a lot of that, and that we're not going to see it. But I'll give it 2 or 3 coats of filler primer. Hopefully that'll be enough to sort it out. Yeah, so this is all the bits that I had to fill in to get this tank to even kind of half look presentable when it's painted. I just found that's the other bump that I was talking about earlier, and I can still feel it. I'm not happy. I think I'm going to fill from about here over, just to try and get rid of that bump. That there. These edges have to be cleaned up, and that one needs a bit more filling. But bar that, it's not too bad. Right, I'm finished for the evening because I have to go and play a gig. And I've done what I can for the day. I'm happy with my progress. And I actually got that battery box painted up as well. So, excuse my yard, I have to get it cleaned up. That's the battery box clean, all done up. So, that's good. And that's all I can do for the day, guys. So, see you tomorrow. How you doing, guys? I'm back. Back working on the 175 again. Continuation of the tank. So I've filled in more of this stuff, and I'm sanding it down now. Now this is a different stuff I'm using. It's eyes upon this time because I've ran out of the other stuff, and it's a bit harder to sand down. I'm trying to get this edge gone here and get it flattened out a bit better. I got some of the areas done nice, as you can see. Still have to get all this mess here sorted out, so that's what we're working on now. I'll just give you a little look at what I'm doing. I'm using this sanding block. Don't do this by hand, because if you do it by hand you'll get little hollows in it. It needs to all be flat, so you need to always rub it down with one of these so it keeps it flat all across the board. And you just keep going with that there. Now I'm just going lightly here to show you, but I would usually go a little more vigorous than that. And I just keep going until it's all nice and flat there, and I've got the edges all feathered in, but you can't feel them. I can't feel that edge at all there, and that's the way it should be. So that's just a quick note on how you would tackle something like that. Well, after a long evening's work, that's the tank ready to go. So just the smaller pieces now to get ready, and I added a little bit onto the mud guards here. Hold on, this light comes on. There we go. Yeah, I added a little bit more filler onto some of these mud guards here, so I just have to flatten that down, give them a run over with up to 240, up to 240 grit is as far as I've went. I'm not going to go much further than that, because last couple of times I painted from this bare steel, it seemed to be that 400 was a little bit too fine, and maybe the paint wasn't just sticking as well as I'd like it to. So yeah, I'm only going up to 240 this time. I'll rub these panels down with 400 grit, and I'll put a plastic primer on them, get them ready to take paint. And then I have the chain guard to do, and the little ears for the headlights and that, and that's it, all ready to go. Well, I think that's me fed up for the night. Have a good few hours work done this evening, and I got my tank all ready to go. Feels good. Might be a slight raise there, but it was always in it, so I'm not going to worry too much. Feels good. Feels good. Usually turns out good. I've got my side panels rubbed down and plastic coated. Plastic coat is a plastic primer. I'll show you it here. Plastic fix. And you spray it on plastic parts. You sand them down with 400 grit. Then you spray this on. And it just helps the paint adhere to the plastic and prevent you from getting lots of issues. So that's what I use. And then I'll give it a little rub down, so I will. With maybe 600 grit before I put the paint on. That's that. Redone the front mud guard. It had flash rusted when it was sitting in the shed here, only in a couple of days, so I'm gonna have to really hurry up and get this whole thing painted when I have this all ready to go. It's all ready to go now and feels good. I started on these fork pieces again. That Zep stuff that I put on all of these pieces done nothing, only make work for me. The brush strokes were absolutely horrible looking on them, and it didn't really do the job it was supposed to do. So it may just be that I wasn't following the right instructions, you know, but brush strokes were in it. I couldn't get them out. So I have the rest of these bits to do, the fork ears and the other one of them, and this chain guard. And I have a bottom piece for this chain guard to get off a friend of mine, Rob Park. So I have to get that piece, and I have to get, there's a steel piece. You can see my seat there. There's a wee steel trim that goes around them seats, and I have to get it off, which I said I'd buy off him. So then I have my headlight, which was already ready to go. And that's it, guys. So I would say another evening's work on all of the parts that's here, and then I have to wait and get the other pieces off Rob Park. I do have the seat base to clean up. It's very, very rusty, so I may do that, and then get it over to Sean, the guy that I bought the bike off. He's a bit of an upholsterer, and he might cover the seat for me. So there you go, guys. So just a quick recap on what has to be done. I have the blue paint to put on all of the blue pieces. Then I have the seat base to clean up and the seat to send away. I could upholster it myself, but I want Sean to do it because it was his project originally, and the bike means something to him, so I want him to have his piece put into the restoration of the bike. Then I have the wheels to rebuild. I haven't got spokes yet, or tires, so I have tires, spokes, tubes to buy for them. I have the hubs to paint. I have the whole engine to paint up, which I have in the back of my car, which is actually at the minute in a garage again, because it's broke down again. So I'll have to wait until I get that back to get the engine out of it. That's it, guys. That's all we can do for this evening. And tomorrow, hopefully I'll get a bit of chance to get at this. I may not. But whatever wee bits is left of the sand, and we'll do it. Yeah, so I went out to the shed again this evening to have another go at things, and I had a quick look at this tank again, and while I was making the video for this week, I happened to notice that there was a little ding just right here that I hadn't seen, and I spotted it from the video, and I went to the tank and I noticed, yeah, there was a ding there, so I filled it in, and there was another one or two down here, and a bit of a rough spot here, just too much pitting, and I thought that it wasn't going to look very good, the paint. if I left it. So I filled in over the pitting. Hopefully that's gonna make it look a little bit better. So I've got everything ready to go here now. That's what I said yesterday, but now I've revisited the tank, I'm happy. I think that's it. And then I have them side panels ready. As you can see, I filled in another little ding here on this mudguard, which is alright. Got the chain guard cleaned up as best I could. The mudguards stay on the two top yoke covers, so that's as far as I'm on. I have the two headlight ears to do yet, and then I have the seat pan to get ready. I have to order spokes when I have the money to, and the engine to clean up. And that's about it. But the engine and the spokes is a separate thing. I'm working towards the blue paint stuff here, so the two fork ears, or two headlight ears, need to be done, and I need to get the bottom part of this off Rob Park so that I can continue the blue paint. So I'll have to contact him tomorrow maybe and see if I can get a hold of them parts this weekend, hopefully. But that's it for this week's video. I hope you have enjoyed watching. It won't be too long before we're piecing the whole bike back together, hopefully, and looking a lot nicer. If you like what you saw, subscribe to Demo690 and give me a thumbs up, because I really need these videos to get out to more people and gain more subscribers. So do me that favour. Thank you very much, and I'll see you the next time.